question. I'm Rob Leonard. He is Tim Leonard. This is from the Press Box. And keep it tuned.
All hit music.
For all those songs radio has forgotten about, join me, Big Ed, Mondays from 10 a.m. till noon for The Good Gold Show. We'll bring back all the great hits of the 50s, 60s, 70s, and more. The sounds of doo-wop to disco, all the Motown, soul, and great rock and roll. We'll even take your requests and dedications to The Good Gold Show.
Music.
On the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC, and streaming on the iHeartRadio app.
Hello, this is Uwe Riggers, host of the German Hit Parade. Tune in every Monday evening at 7 to hear many of the most popular German recording artists of the past 60 years. Hört euch die schönen Lieder an. During our 60-minute show, you will also hear about the latest events in the German-American community, and you will never know who may turn up live at our studios or at what event we may turn up live. So tune in every Monday evening at 7 for the German Hit Parade on the voice of Nassau Community College 90.3 WHPC.
Shake off the realities of the day, broaden your musical horizons, and embrace the diversity every Monday afternoon at 6 on Revelations. The show offers a potently unique collection of music with an emphasis on themes and rock rarities, an occasional tour de force of blues and soul, mixed with compelling sets of folk and folk rock. I'm Steve Kay, and I've got the perfect soundtrack for your drive home every Monday afternoon at 6 on Revelations, right here on the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC.
90.3 WHPC from the Press Box. Right here, part of the WHPC Sports Talk family. I'm Rob Leonard. He's award-winning sports writer Tim Leonard. Good stuff there from Ian O'Connor.
Absolutely.
Fine book about
some great stories about Bill Belichick. People should go buy the book. It's a big book.
It's a big book. God, it was so much information.
A lot of bang for the buck.
And like I said, the Brady chapter was fantastic. And just how people say, well, how'd you get to where you are? And they always go, well, they always make it seem like it just happened.
It all started in a log cabin.
Yeah, it started at a 5,000-watt radio station, as Ted Baxter used to say. Anyway, brother, what do you want to talk about? There's so much to talk about. Our notes are huge today. Oh, by the way, we should say, be the first caller at 516-572-7440 to win a 4-pack of tickets to see the Long Island Nets, the G League team of the Brooklyn Nets, as they host the Capital City Go-Go on Thursday, November 8th at 7 p.m. at the NYCB Live Theater, or not theater, Coliseum, home of the Nassau Veterans Memorial Coliseum. For more information, you can go to longislandnets.com. So that's a 4-pack of tickets.
4-pack of tickets.
To the Long Island Nets on November 8th. Give us a call, 516-572-7440. Since we're running out of time, technically, because...
Not technically, we are running out of time.
Let's talk about soccer, brother, because is it almost MLS football playoff time?
Yes, it is. Next week, actually, it starts. I know you love the playoffs,
because
brother.
There's nothing better than watching grown men in shorts in freezing weather when the World Series is already over.
The World Series ended.
Yeah, I know.
Well,
World Series should be the end.
It's 50-something degrees outside right now.
Soccer should be over before that.
Well,
at least in America.
Sorry to burst your bubble, brother. But we have yesterday your New York Red Bulls actually clinched the 2018 Supporters Shield in MLS, which was basically the culmination of a season-long quest for the top. Atlanta United was in first place in the Eastern Conference for most of the season, and yesterday the Red Bulls caught them because Atlanta United lost to reigning champion Toronto FC 4-1, and the Red Bulls defeated who did they beat yesterday? Oh, the Philadelphia Union, I believe it was, 2-1. Oh no, I'm sorry, Orlando SC. My bad. But they beat Orlando 1-0. On a goal from your favorite player, brother, Derek Etienne, who scored. And that gave them an MLS record 71 points this season, and it also gave them the Supporters' Shield, which is actually the third time in the last 6 seasons that they've won that.
What's the Supporters' Shield for?
That is the team that has the most points in the league. So the Red Bulls not only got the most points this season, but they set a league record for points in the season, and that gives them home field advantage for as long as they're in the playoffs. So that means if they advance all the way to MLS Cup, that means MLS Cup will be at Red Bull Arena. And if that happens, we're going, brother. We're going to get press passes. But
we have to go to New Jersey to watch the New York Red Bulls.
Yeah, that's fine. It's all available by train.
Red
Bulls finished with a 22-6-6 record. See, now here's the thing, though. The Red Bulls had a coaching change mid-season. Jesse Marsch left to take a job in, I believe it was Austria, and Chris Armas took over.
Austria,
because it's the whole thing with Red Bull. But Chris Armas took over, and the thing I like about Armas, he's a New York guy, born in the Bronx, raised in Brentwood, played Long Island soccer out in Brentwood. He really is a New York guy. He went 12-3-3 in his last 18 matches, and were actually the only 18 matches that he coached. So this is a New York success story, and that's what I like about it. It's almost in a lot of ways like Mike Pecky, the former coach, who was a Long Island guy also, who used to play for the Red Bulls. Actually, Chris Armas actually played for the Chicago Fire when he played, for the most part, anyway. Just to give you a little bit of insight on the Red Bulls this year, they still have yet to win an MLS Cup, by the way, despite the previous 2 Supporters' Shields that they've won. I have a good feeling about this season, though, and it's rare that I have a good feeling about the Red Bulls because they tend to choke in the playoffs. I'm sorry to say.
What about my NYCFC team?
They clinched 3rd place yesterday, so they'll be around. They'll be around, and I'm expecting the Red Bulls and Atlanta United to be in the Eastern Conference Final, though. But unless NYCFC might knock off Atlanta, we'll see what happens there. I will tell you that Bradley Wright Phillips, your guy from England, finished the season with 20 goals, and that makes him the only player in MLS history to have 3 seasons with 20 or more goals. And Luis Robles had 14 shutouts. The team had 15. He missed a couple of games. So playoffs start next week. We'll see how it goes. We'll keep everybody updated on the MLS playoffs.
So it's going to go past Thanksgiving, is what you're saying?
Yeah, without a doubt.
So
no, wait a minute. Well, I don't check it out online. I don't know. Thanksgiving is only 3 weeks away or so. So it's going to be a little while. Some bad news in the soccer world, brother. Former Tottenham midfielder Glenn Hoddle, who also went on to be the manager of the England national team, but a legendary player in England, suffered a heart attack on Saturday. He was at the BT Sport television studio in London when he collapsed. He was actually given mouth-to-mouth resuscitation, and he was resuscitated with a defibrillator. They thought he was dead. I mean, that's how bad this was. He was taken to the hospital and apparently is recovering, and the doctors there are crediting the immediate medical attention that he received while he was at the television studio for saving his life. So Glenn Hoddle, 61 years old, the guy is, if you look at him, he's fit. He looks like he could still play. So I don't know how a guy like that has a heart attack. It was just completely puzzling, but obviously we hear from the press box, which wish Glenn Hoddle a speedy recovery. The owner of Leicester City of the Premier League, I hate to say this, I can't pronounce the guy's name. His last name has like 20 letters in it. But he was actually one of 5 people killed in a helicopter crash outside the King Power Stadium on Saturday.
What?
The owner arrives at the stadium by helicopter. That's been his thing. It's like that's how he gets to the matches. And as the helicopter was leaving the stadium after the match, it crashed.
Wow.
And exploded, and there was a big fire, and all 5 people on the helicopter were killed at the scene. So real tragic for Leicester City. Great owner. He's a guy. Everybody loved the guy. And he was obviously the main reason why Leicester won the title a couple years ago, and unexpectedly won the title. This was a season where they were predicted to finish somewhere in the relegation zone, and they wound up finishing in first place. That was the year that Tottenham finished second. That was 3 seasons ago. But obviously some very tragic news from the English Premier League. On a decidedly lighter note, Tottenham faces first place Manchester City this afternoon, 4 o'clock local time. That's because London, they turned the clocks back yesterday, and we're not doing that until this weekend. So But that's going to be a big match. If Tottenham wins, they move up past Manchester City. So huge match for both teams. That one's at Wembley Stadium today. So a lot of stuff going on. A lot of soccer going on. Did you find out when MLS Cup is? Did you look that up?
It ends, I think, December 8th.
December 8th. So it says MLS
birthday.
Cup. Yeah, there you go. Perfect.
Yeah, great
Perfect.
gift. Hey, Mom, you want to go see MLS? Let's sit in the cold.
Let's go.
Watch guys in shorts freezing their butts.
Absolutely. Let's go. Championship.
Oh, God.
Woo-ha. So that's a bit of the soccer roundup. We're looking forward to today, though. Little
Right.
Tottenham magic, little Harry
Quickly.
Kane magic, little Dele Alli magic.
Quickly, how many more games is Eli Manning playing?
The Giants are on a bye this week.
Right.
This is their bye week. I would not be surprised if Kyle Oleta was the starting quarterback when they return. Because here's my question: are the Giants going to repeat the mistake that Ben McAdoo made last year and start Geno Smith and do stupid stuff like that? If the answer is no, you need to find out. Unlike what they didn't do with Davis Webb last year, you need to find out what you have with Kyle Oleta. And you need to say, all right, let's give this kid 4 games, and let's see what he can do, and let's see what he has. Otherwise, we need to start looking out and seeing who this quarterback from Oregon is.
Right.
What's his name? Justin Herbert. Because if he comes out, he's a junior. He doesn't have to come out. But if he comes out, he's going to the Giants. The Giants right now are looking like they're going to have either the number 1 or the number 2 pick. Justin Herbert will be that guy. Again, if he comes out.
But is it Eli's fault for a horrible offensive line?
The line is not good, but
But
Eli
score.
can't move.
They can't score.
They should be able to score. They have weapons. But, again, you have to be able to block. So, again, the Giants this offseason will have to retool the line and fix that part of the game, because without an offensive line, you're not going anywhere. And the Giants need to do it. But Eli he's immobile. Some of the blame has to go on him. He doesn't throw the ball anymore. He won't throw to get out of trouble. He just falls down and says, "All right, I'll start over next play." So
That's unfortunate.
Yeah.
Anyway, quickly with the Islanders, they won both games this weekend. They're 5-4 right now. And
the Mets, bro. The Mets are hiring a new GM, Brody Van Wagenen, who has spent most of his professional career as an agent.
Right.
I'm not sure this is a good move.
He's also said the Mets should have traded DeGrom,
he wanted them to trade DeGrom.
Yeah.
Now it's going to be, how does he divorce himself from DeGrom, and how does that negotiation happen? Because DeGrom is eligible for arbitration this offseason and is going to get a huge number.
Oh yeah,
huge. It might be the biggest arbitration ever for a pitcher. DeGrom should ask for $20 million, and he'll probably get it.
Well, it depends if he's named Cy Young first.
Like I said, $20 million
at least.
Or either that, or if Van Wagenen, we'll see how smart he is if he can get a long-term contract negotiated with DeGrom, because whatever contract he does with DeGrom, chances are he's going to save the team money if they can get it done sooner rather than later.
That's true.
So
anyway, brother, we got to mention this. Don't forget about Lion Tales every Tuesday at 4 p.m., a show committed to sharing the success stories of distinguished Nassau Community College alumni. Hosted by Aurora Workman, president of the NCC Alumni Association, and Dr. Linda Nadian, a proud NCC graduate. That's Lion Tales every Tuesday at 4 p.m., right here on 90.3 WHPC, the voice of Nassau Community College. Coming up next at 10 o'clock to 12 o'clock, Big Ed's in the building. That means the oldies will be flying off the platters. And then at 12 o'clock, the oldies continue with the retro mix. I know, brother. I'm saying goodbye. I'm saying goodbye. You just don't say, you just tap your arm like, I know. I'm saying goodbye. You have to give a little plug here. It's called plugs, Tim, you know? How do you not plug Big Ed or Colton? Playing 4 hours of oldies the next 4 hours. Don't touch your radio. We'll see you on Friday with Beatles songs. I'll see you Sunday with the Free For All. We'll see you next Monday with more sports talk right here from the Press Box. Take care and bye-bye.
The views expressed on air are not necessarily those of WHPC, its management, or Nassau Community College. Responsible opposing viewpoints will be considered by emailing them to whpc@ncc.edu or by mail at WHPC 1 Education Drive, Garden City, New York 11530. Thanks for listening to the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC.